So TikTok just took down probably one of the most important videos I've ever put up. But I understand why. I mean, they wouldn't want people to realize that everything from education to medicine has a symbol that goes back to a Greek mythology god. See, Asclepius, the god of medicine and healing, wasn't an actual historical real person. I mean, it was real, but it wasn't human being real. And yet, there was a golden age in Greek's ancient days. That's where everything comes from when it comes to art, science, medicine. And you may say, well, those things brought us these different, this different evidence. Yeah, but it's never brought any cures, has it? But that wicked one knows how to stay relevant. I would show the pictures, but I don't. So I'm trying to just see if I can say it without getting taken down, but I was showing the pictures. So the Greek mythology gods, they're considered a myth because they weren't real human beings, but they were real. They were fallen angels. There was many of them. What I showed in my video, I said over and over again, this is epic. It's so epic, because most people would then say, oh, that's why Donald Trump's calling the new age is going to be a new golden age, that, you know, he's the Antichrist. No. You've been living under it. We all have been. And of course, the end time prophets, just like everybody else, has been being deceived. Why would we have, like, this is why your fraternities and your sororities are all named after Greek letters and Roman numerals. See, the Romans took on many of the Greek mythology gods. It's where Apollo came from, and Asclepius, obviously, as I said, Kronos. Kronos actually gives the whole history, and the history aligns with the fallen angels from the Bible. Yep. They even go on to keep man happy a little bit, having peaceful times from time to time. But then they rise up and get angry. There was Kronos, and Kronos was also known as Saturn, like the planet. And his father was Uranus, like the planet. And Uranus was also known as the sky, proving what Jesus said about the prince of darkness is the prince of the air. And there were many, that's why there's so many Greek mythology gods. They were fallen angels. They were around when Jesus was here. They were around before Jesus came. Jesus came because of them. It was literally, it was like the most epic video, because I tied it all together. So really, the human beings were really just scared under those times. They were, because they had these mythical figures that in many ways took their shapes. At least that's what it's shown in pictures. And that is where medicine came from. But why would we symbolize medicine after something that was a myth? Right? I mean, we name diseases after the people that first had the disease, right? But literally, medicine and healing itself came from a mythical god called Asclepius. But back in the golden age of Greece, this was back in a time, these were huge gods. And so those deceptive gods, they would bring things that are good. They would have to, in order to remain in control and in power. They have to give times of peace and some good things in order to maintain control. Kronos, being the god of time, was one of the earliest rebellion also known as Saturn. And again, what did God call those? Those are the watchers on the wall, but some of them fell. They left their proper place of dwelling. Those are the hosts in heaven. The planets are the hosts in heaven. But Kronos was one of the biggest rebellions. He was the god of time. And to avoid have his throne overthrown, being overthrown, he would eat his children. He would swallow them whole, one by one. Finally, one of his kids took him over, Zeus, another fallen god, false god. And this is where everything we know from what you learn in school has come from. Mythical false gods. All proving the Bible. That's what's really upsetting, is they took it down because there's no way that it doesn't prove that. It all proves the Bible. It proves everything Jesus said. It's just questions we've never asked. We never look at what these symbols mean. We're just told, oh, medicine goes back to the god Asclepius, but yet we never say to ourselves, well, why would we continue that symbol on when it's a mythical god? But that's why there's never been any cures. But that's why there's been some advancements too. Those false gods know how to keep you under control. And what they really never wanted people to do was ask questions. So while many people, I should say, not everybody, many people are saying that Trump's the Antichrist, recognize that all this stuff that's going on with mutilating children, that Trump's is stopping, and all of this racism that's gone on forever, that they've wanted to keep going. It's all designed by mythical gods, really, and those mythical gods have children of their, not really children, but people that follow them, and they're why Jesus said you're the children of Satan. That's what you follow. That's what you worship. Because it makes no sense that everything in our society, the roots of it go back to a mythical Greek god. Apollo, Kronos, Asclepius. There's so many of them going back. I mean, there were tons and tons and tons. It was the overthrow of the Titans. There were different phases of the Titans, different phases of the fallen angels. Really, the 5 stages of man. And the creation itself, if you look it up, again, I would show all the pictures. I'm really upset. I mean, I expect TikTok to take stuff down, but this one was, I had everything. So Kronos, it says here for the creation, Kronos played a crucial part in the creation of the known universe, first as a rebel against Uranus, then as the tyrant against whom Zeus led his rebellion. The story of Kronos begins with the irrational, hate-driven decision of his father Uranus, the sky, to not allow his children Cyclops and the Hectagonaris and the Titans to leave their mother's womb, and that the mother's womb was considered the earth. Grief-stricken, Gaia devised a crafty little plan, fashioned an adamant sickle, and appealed to her offspring for help. My children, she said, if you obey me, we should punish the vile outrage of your father Kronos. Was the only one not seized by fear. But it goes on to say how after seizing power, Kronos married his sister, and for a while everything seemed perfect. Even the humans lived pretty peacefully, for a certain period of time anyway.